Heart of Africa, where the sun kisses the golden sands of the Sahara and rivers carve life into the earth. A kingdom rose to greatness. This is the story of a man who shaped an empire, a king whose legacy echoes across time. Mansa Musa.
You're getting faster, Musa. Soon even I might have to yield to your blade.
I'd be worried if I couldn't best you, Tariq. What kind of king would I be then?
Then it's good. I still have a few tricks left. My king, may my steel keep your spirit honed, that no throne ever grows too heavy for your shoulders. Do you hear that?
Dust blows in the air. A royal messenger, clad in flowing indigo robes, rides a galloping horse. As he rushes faster than normal to the training ground, dust billows dramatically as the horse skids to a halt. The messenger dismounts swiftly and bows deeply before Musa. The warriors pause their training, forming a semicircle around Musa as he steps forward. His posture is commanding, but approachable.
My prince, the Songhai have been spotted near the border. Their armies gather like storm clouds.
Then we must meet them before they strike. Tariq, gather the warriors. Tonight, we march for the Niger.
Yes, my king.
It was still daylight when the news spread through the palace and beyond its walls. Courtyards that usually hummed with calm conversation now buzzed with hurried purpose. Servants ran between workshops, carrying fresh bundles of arrows, the ringing of steel drifting through sun-warmed corridors. In the practice fields, seasoned warriors tested their blades and spears, eyeing each other with firm resolve and nodding in silent understanding. Close to the barracks, young recruits stood shoulder to shoulder, listening as older soldiers offered last-minute advice: where to strike, how to shield a comrade, and when to stand firm. Nearby, stable hands brushed the warhorses' coats and checked their tack, ensuring every strap and buckle was secure. The animals sensed the tension. They tossed their heads and pawed at the ground, ears flicking at every sudden sound. Market vendors, sensing the shift in the day's rhythm, began packing their goods earlier than usual, anxious to return home before the army set out. Sunlight fell across the grand halls and open plazas, illuminating faces that tried to remain calm, even as worry weighed on every heart. Children peeked around corners, curious and wide-eyed, drawn to the sight of so many warriors preparing for something they could only imagine. In quieter corners, blacksmiths worked in rhythmic unison, hammering at glowing slabs of iron until they yielded, spark by spark, into keen-edged blades. Each strike rang out, echoing through the dimly lit halls and reminding all who heard it that steel was being shaped for more than show. These were tools of defense, and if fate required, conquest. Sweat beaded on the smiths' brows as they toiled, their muscles straining, their focus unwavering. Around them, barrels of cooling water hissed in protest, each time a red-hot blade was plunged within, forging strength through sudden shock. They adorned themselves in finely crafted armor, breastplates embossed with intricate designs, vambraces etched with clan emblems, and helmets fitted snugly to guard vigilant eyes. Assistants moved up and down the line, tightening buckles, adjusting pauldrons, and ensuring every strap lay secure. Warriors tested the heft of their swords, the balance of their spears, and the fit of their shields. Within a more secluded chamber, the atmosphere was quieter, but no less intense. Mansa, Musa, and Tariq stood over a sturdy wooden table, spread with a detailed map. This was no grand hall flooded with sunlight, but rather a place of calm shadows and flickering lanterns that threw shifting shapes across parchment and polished wood. Every line on the map marked a river, a border, a known stronghold, or an uncertain frontier. The king and his captain moved their fingertips thoughtfully over these lines, tracing possible routes and measuring the distances that would define victory or defeat. They spoke in hushed tones, their words careful and deliberate. Here, strategy took shape. Where to position archers, where to hold ground, where to leave room for retreat if fortune soured. This quiet exchange, lit by gentle lantern light, would guide how the newly forged blades and armored ranks would be deployed when the moment finally came. Scholars rolled up scrolls and secured delicate manuscripts, taking care to protect the knowledge that Mansa Musa had worked so hard to nurture. Meanwhile, nobles adjusted their fine garments, speaking in low voices about strategies and alliances, while messengers darted from room to room, spreading word of where and when to assemble. And through it all, Mansa Musa's presence could almost be felt in every space, even when he was not in sight. His decision to march was clear, and the empire's people moved with a common purpose, understanding that the hours of daylight were precious. Before the sun dipped lower, warriors would be on the move, heading for the river with their king's will guiding them. In that bright afternoon light, each action, from the smallest chore to the most solemn vow, drew everyone closer to the edge of fate, and the day carried on, determined, focused, and filled with a quiet, steady resolve. Musa, now fully armored in resplendent gold and leather, mounts a black stallion. His army, thousands strong, lines the horizon, their banners fluttering in the wind. Musa raises his sword, its gold hilt catching the fading sunlight. The soldiers cheer, their voices echoing across the landscape.
For Mali, for our people, forward!